In Thailand, love doesn't hide. It headlines. From movie screens to runways, these LGBTQ+ legends aren't just breaking rules. They're rewriting the entire script. They sing, fight, laugh, and love out loud, turning visibility into victory and pride into pop culture. This isn't just about fame. It's about freedom, glitter, and a little bit of chaos. Because in Thailand, love doesn't whisper, it roars. When Violette Wautier walks into a room, the air changes. Thailand's pop scene suddenly feels cooler, riskier, and a little more honest. She's that rare kind of artist who doesn't just perform. She vibrates on a different frequency. Half Thai, half Belgian, and fully unapologetic, Violette built her career the hard way. By refusing to be anyone else. Her voice is silk wrapped around lightning, smooth, emotional, and always one note away from breaking your heart in the best way possible. But what really makes Violette a revolution in heels is her radical honesty. She doesn't hint at being queer, she celebrates it like it's the after-party of life. While others tiptoe around labels, Violette turns her microphone into a pride flag and dares the industry to keep up. She sings about heartbreak, healing, and the glorious mess of being human, and she makes it all sound like freedom. Her concerts feel less like performances and more like therapy sessions where everyone's allowed to cry, dance, and scream same at the top of their lungs. She's not chasing trends, she is the trend. Indie kids adore her, pop fans worship her, and straight men are quietly confused because suddenly their favorite love songs are about girls. Violette Wautier isn't just an artist, she's a cultural reset button with great hair. Every lyric, every smirk, every perfectly chaotic high note reminds us, authenticity never goes out of style. And baby, neither does she. Engfa Waraha steps on stage, the lights don't shine on her, they beg for her attention. She's not just a beauty queen, she's the plot twist in the pageant world. Forget the polite wave and perfect smile. Engfa struts in like confidence owes her rent money. Crown? Check. Charisma? Off the charts. Fear of judgment? Never heard of her. She didn't just win Miss Grand Thailand, she rebranded what winning looks like. In a world where many still hide their love, Engfa turned the national spotlight into a disco ball of honesty. Her love story with Charlotte Austin wasn't scandal, it was cinematic. Fans didn't gossip, they shipped. The internet didn't whisper, it screamed, queen behavior. Engfa's power isn't just in her looks, it's in her refusal to shrink. She's proof that royalty doesn't come from bloodlines or jewels, it comes from authenticity. On stage, she radiates energy like a human firework. Offstage, she's the kind of friend who'll fix your crown, roast your ex, and still look flawless doing it. Her message? Be loud, be proud, be extra, because subtle never changed the world. Every time she grabs a mic or flashes that grin, she's not just performing, she's rewriting the definition of beauty and bravery in Thailand. Engfa Waraha isn't just the queen of crowns, she's the queen of coming out fierce. Before Tina Jittale showed up, Asian cinema treated queer love stories like background noise, there but never loud enough. Then came Yes or No 2010, and suddenly everyone stopped whispering. Tina walked onto the screen as Kim, calm, confident, rocking that sharp tomboy look, and boom, the entire continent collectively went, wait, I think I'm gay. She didn't just play a character, she started a movement. Kim wasn't some tragic stereotype or comedic relief. She was magnetic, mysterious, and real. For millions of queer women across Asia, Tina was the first time they saw themselves not as the secret, but as the main story. Theaters filled up, fan pages exploded, and overnight she became the Pan-Asian good luck charm no one knew they needed. Her chemistry with Aom, electric. Fans begged for sequels, wrote fan fiction, and basically turned the internet into one giant love letter. But the real magic wasn't just Kim and Pai. It was Tina herself. She proved that authenticity sells harder than any scripted fantasy. Today, Tina isn't just remembered as an actress. She's remembered as the spark that set Asian queer cinema on fire. She turned silence into visibility, uncertainty into pride, and made tomboy chic a cultural revolution. Let's be real. Before Tina, queer love was hiding in the shadows. After Tina, it demanded front row seats. If charm had a face, it would look like Belle Warisara, the muse of modern Thailand, a woman who can stop the world with nothing but a glance. She doesn't chase the spotlight, it follows her faithfully, drawn to the quiet glow she carries. With soft hair, a gentle smile, and eyes that seem to hold a secret, Belle radiates an effortless energy. I'm not trying to enchant you, but somehow, I just do. When she appears on screen, time slows down. Every eye finds her, not because she demands attention, but because she makes everything around her more beautiful, just by being there. She doesn't need dramatic monologues. One look, one half smile, and you're already lost without knowing why. Her characters aren't loud rebels or fierce fighters. They're gentle souls, deep and quietly strong. The kind of women who protect with tenderness and break hearts with grace. Belle makes you believe that softness can be power, and femininity can be a quiet kind of strength. Off-screen, she's just as captivating, elegant yet grounded, humble yet radiant. She doesn't need extravagance or noise. Her presence itself is enough. She's the kind of person who makes the air feel lighter, who reminds you that kindness can be magnetic. Belle Warisara isn't just an actress, she's an emotion. A reminder that beauty isn't about perfection, but about the way someone makes you feel when they're near. Some stars dazzle. Belle doesn't need to. She simply makes the world fall in love, softly, completely, and without warning. Before social media ships and TikTok edits took over fandom culture, there was Kim and Pai. And Aom Sushar was the reason half of Asia fell in love. In Yes or No 2010, Aom didn't just play Pai, she brought her to life. Soft, witty, and painfully relatable. She was the sunshine to Tina Jittale's storm, the heart that made everyone believe love between women wasn't rebellion, it was romance. Aom didn't scream for attention, she stole hearts with a smile. She had that dangerous mix of sweetness and quiet confidence that made audiences say, okay, maybe I like girls now. The chemistry between her and Tina was so real, fans didn't watch the movie. They experienced it. People didn't just ship them. They built shrines, wrote fanfics, and started online cults of devotion. Kimpi became religion, and Aom was its high priestess of soft power. But off-screen, Aom is chaos in disguise, funny, humble, and way too good at pretending she doesn't know she's famous. She turned a simple college love story into a generational awakening. Through her, viewers learned that queer love isn't taboo, it's cinematic. She didn't just act in a film, she created a movement. Every eye roll, every shy glance, every tiny smirk was a revolution wrapped in cuteness. Aom Sushar proved that love doesn't need permission. It just needs two people brave enough to smile at each other, like it's the first time love ever existed. Charlotte Austin doesn't just enter a room, she glides in like Wi-Fi, finally reconnecting after buffering for years. There's a spark about her, the kind that doesn't shout, "Look at me," but somehow everyone does. She's not the type to demand attention. She earns it, one soft laugh and one dangerously charming eye contact at a time. In a world obsessed with perfection, Charlotte is refreshingly real. The kind of star who'd post a barefaced selfie, spill her coffee 5 minutes later, and still look like she belongs on a magazine cover. When she teamed up with Engfa Waraha, the internet lost its collective mind. Fans didn't just watch their story, they lived it. Hashtags exploded, reaction videos multiplied, and Thailand suddenly had its own version of a royal love story. Only gayer, cooler, and way more romantic. Charlotte isn't playing the rising star game. She's rewriting it. She makes fame look effortless and authenticity look luxurious. While some celebrities hide their love lives, she turns hers into a masterclass on fearlessness. The way she smiles at Engfa on stage, it's not acting, it's art. Her vibe is part sunshine, part chaos, all heart. She proves you don't have to choose between success and sincerity. You can have both and look amazing doing it. Charlotte Austin isn't just the next big thing. She is the big thing. Confidence with a passport, love with no borders, and a grin that could start a cultural revolution. Tontawan Tantivejakul, or just two, is that rare kind of actress who doesn't need fireworks to steal a scene. She walks in, blinks once, and suddenly everyone forgets how to breathe. Thailand's sweetheart turned quiet rebel. Two didn't just play queer love stories, she made them feel real. No overacting, no forced drama, just raw human emotion that hits harder than a plot twist at midnight. When she's on screen, love doesn't look political. It looks universal. Two has this effortless way of making you believe that every stolen glance and every trembling smile actually means something. She doesn't say love is love, she shows it, with a kind of sincerity that turns skeptics into believers. Her fans don't just watch her, they feel her. Straight audiences cry, queer fans cheer, and everyone agrees. This woman could probably make a statue blush. She's got that girl next door energy mixed with Oscar-worthy emotional depth. Basically, if empathy had a face, it would be hers. Off-screen, Two is pure chaos in the best way. Goofy, honest, and allergic to pretense. She laughs loud, loves harder, and somehow manages to stay humble while breaking boundaries left and right. Tontawan Tantivejakul isn't just acting. She's educating the world one heart at a time, proving that love stories between women don't need justification. They just need truth. If laughter had a queen, her name would be Jenny Panhan. Thailand's unstoppable comedy storm with heels sharp enough to slice through patriarchy. Before Jenny, trans women in entertainment were treated like punchlines. After Jenny, they wrote the punchlines and made everyone else the joke. She walks on stage like she owns gravity itself, microphone in hand, eyeliner perfect, and one eyebrow already judging society. Her humor, razor sharp. Her timing, deadly. She doesn't tell jokes, she launches verbal grenades, wrapped in glitter, of course. Jenny can roast a politician, charm a grandma, and make you question your entire life in the same 5 minutes. But behind the sparkle and sass is a woman who fought hard for her stage. Every laugh she earns is built on courage, the kind that turns pain into performance and prejudice into punchlines. She's proof that comedy isn't just entertainment, it's rebellion in high heels. On TV, she dominates. Online, she trends. Off-screen, she's the friend who will hype you up and humble you in the same sentence. Jenny doesn't just break barriers. She demolishes them with a smile and a killer outfit. Wachtara Sukchum isn't asking for acceptance. She's taking up space, loudly, proudly, hilariously. And every time she drops a joke, a stereotype dies a little inside. When Baifern Pimchanok cries on screen, the entire internet cries with her. And when she loves, the whole world leans in. She's not just Thailand's golden girl. She's the emotional GPS of an entire generation. Somehow, she manages to be both the fairy tale and the plot twist, the heartbreak and the healing, all wrapped up in one dangerously talented actress. From her early rom-com days to the bold, breathtaking roles she takes now, Baifern has never played it safe. But it wasn't until she started stepping into queer love stories that the world realized. She's not just acting, she's redefining what love looks like on screen. Her characters don't fit into boxes. They live, they ache, they love fiercely, and they refuse to apologize for it. When Baifern looks at her female co-star, it's not just chemistry. It's electricity, raw and real. She doesn't need over-the-top dialogue or dramatic confessions. One glance and audiences feel everything. What makes her truly iconic isn't just her beauty, it's her honesty. She doesn't portray queer women as tropes or tragedies. She gives them depth, softness, and dignity. Every time she steps into a queer role, she says what so many have needed to hear. Love doesn't have a label, it has a heartbeat. Baifern's performances are like emotional earthquakes, subtle at first, then unstoppable. Viewers don't just watch her characters fall in love, they remember how it feels to be seen, understood, and safe. She's the kind of actress who doesn't just light up a scene, she rewires the emotional power grid. Off-screen, she's just as magnetic. Funny, grounded, and a little chaotic in the most endearing way. One minute she's goofing around on set, the next she's delivering a monologue that makes the audience ugly cry into their popcorn. She's proof that empathy can be sexy and vulnerability can be power. And let's be honest, Baifern could stand in silence for 10 seconds and still outact half the industry. That's her superpower. Subtle, devastating truth. In a world where queer love stories were once hidden behind metaphors, Baifern walked in and said, "Nope, let's tell the real thing and make it beautiful." And she did. She's not just Thailand's darling, she's a cultural reset in heels, a living reminder that love, in every form, deserves the spotlight. Baifern Pimchanok doesn't just make you believe in romance, she makes you believe in representation. When Mook Worranit smiles, time slows down, and every hopeless romantic in Thailand collectively forgets how to breathe. She's been the nation's sweetheart for years, but somewhere between all those heart-fluttering glances and tear-filled close-ups, Mook did something wild. She rewrote the love story playbook. At first glance, she's every director's dream. The girl next door with a face that could melt camera lenses. But here's the twist. Mook isn't content with playing love interests that fade when the lights go out. She dives deep. And when she stepped into her first queer pairing, she didn't act. She understood. Her chemistry with female co-stars hit like lightning in slow motion. Quiet, believable, and way too real to be called fiction. Audiences didn't just see two women in love. They felt it. That tender, breathless kind of love that doesn't scream. It whispers straight to your ribs. Mook's performances make queerness look exactly like what it is. Natural, human, and heartbreakingly beautiful. She treats every queer romance not as something different, but as something true. And in doing so, she gave millions of women across Asia permission to imagine their own happy endings. Her secret weapon? Subtlety. Mook can tell an entire love story with just one look. No dialogue, no drama, just that soft, devastating gaze that says, "Yeah, I'd fight the world for you." And fans feel it, in their hearts, their DMs, and their fan edits with dramatic background music. Off-screen, Mook is an adorable mix of chaos and grace. She's humble, hilarious, and completely unaware that she's causing emotional damage with every post. She'll crack a dumb joke, then 5 minutes later, give an interview about love that makes you rethink your life choices. That's Mook magic. Gentle on the surface, powerful underneath. In an industry obsessed with perfection, she wins by being genuine. No scandals, no pretenses, just raw talent and empathy. She doesn't need to shout representation from the rooftops. Her art does it for her. Mook Worranit didn't come to play the hero or the rebel. She came to love out loud. softly, sincerely, and with the kind of truth that makes even cynics believe again. Because in her world, love isn't defined by gender. It's defined by courage, and Mook's got plenty of that, wrapped in a shy smile that could start a revolution. If confidence had a runway, Looknam Orntara would own the patent. She doesn't just walk, she commands. When she steps out, flashbulbs panic, photographers gasp, and fashion editors suddenly remember why they love their jobs. Looknam isn't your typical beauty queen or model. She's the glitch in the matrix, the one who looked at the traditional definition of beauty, laughed, and said, "Cute, but not for me." In Thailand's fashion scene, where perfection used to mean sameness, Looknam came in like a beautiful riot. Her looks, bold. Her poses, defiant. Her presence, unmistakable. She doesn't follow trends, she terrorizes them. With every photo shoot, she's rewriting the script. Beauty isn't what the world tells you to be. It's what you decide to be. And she decided to be unforgettable. She's got that rare kind of charisma that can make a room go silent. Not because she's loud, but because she's real. One minute she's serving couture goddess energy, the next she's cracking jokes between shots like your hilarious best friend who just happens to look like a Vogue cover. That mix of fearlessness and humor, that's her signature fragrance. But beyond the glitter and high heels, Looknam carries something heavier. Purpose. She's not just modeling clothes, she's modeling self-love. For queer youth and anyone who ever felt too different, she's living proof that the world doesn't get to decide your worth. You do. She struts for every person who's ever looked in the mirror and thought, "I don't fit in." Her answer? Good. You weren't meant to. Every pose she strikes is a middle finger to narrow beauty standards, and every smile says, "I'm not here to be accepted, I'm here to be adored." She's turning insecurity into art, identity into power, and visibility into pure, unstoppable confidence. And let's be honest, Looknam could wear a trash bag and still get a sponsorship deal. That's not fashion, that's witchcraft. But beneath the glam, she's grounded. The kind of person who laughs at herself before anyone else can. Looknam Orntara isn't just redefining beauty, she's setting it on fire, dancing around the ashes and heels, and teaching the world that authenticity is the new luxury. Because when she walks, she's not saying, "Look at me." She's saying, "Look at you, and realize you're already enough." If storytelling had a heartbeat, it would sound like Emma Panisara. She doesn't just act, she bleeds truth on camera. Thailand's indie darling turned cultural fire starter, Emma has this uncanny ability to make you laugh, cry, and rethink your life choices all in the same scene. She's not out here chasing fame, she's busy changing what fame means. In a world where queer women were once written as side characters or tragic plot devices, Emma showed up like, "Hi, I'll be the lead now." And she meant it. Her performances don't beg for sympathy, they demand respect. When she plays a queer woman, it's not some political statement. It's human, messy, tender, and alive. She makes love look real, the kind that stains your memory and refuses to fade when the credits roll. Emma doesn't perform queerness, she embodies it. Every glance, every half smile, every quiet moment of courage feels like a love letter to authenticity. And audiences respond, not because she's loud about it, but because she's honest. Watching her on screen feels less like entertainment and more like a mirror held up to your heart. She's also got this delightful chaos off-screen, goofy, unfiltered, with a laugh that could fix a bad day. Emma's the type of woman who'd cry over a puppy video, then deliver a performance that makes the entire nation sob for completely different reasons. That balance of humor and heartbreak, that's her superpower. And let's talk about her range. One moment she's soft as silk, The next, she's ripping your soul open with one line. She doesn't just play characters. She invites you into them. You don't watch Emma's movies, you survive them. But beyond all the awards, the applause, and the viral scenes, there's something deeper. Emma's work tells queer audiences, you exist, you matter, you deserve joy. She's rewriting a narrative generations long overdue for a happy ending. In an industry that once told women like her to tone it down, Emma turned up the volume. She's the cinematic rebellion wrapped in a smile, elegance with an edge, softness with a spine. Emma Panisara isn't just an actress. She's a revolution in lipstick and laughter. Proof that love stories between women aren't side plots anymore. They're the main event. If courage had a face, it would wear lipstick, boxing gloves, and go by the name Parinya Charoenphol, better known as Nong Toom. She didn't just break barriers, she kicked them down barefoot in a boxing ring while looking flawless doing it. Thailand had never seen anything like her. A transgender woman who punched her way through prejudice and into pop culture legend. Before Nong Toom, Muay Thai was a man's world. After Nong Toom, it was her world, and the men were just renting space. Every jab she threw wasn't just a strike against her opponent, it was a statement to society. I can be strong, beautiful, and exactly who I am, all at once. And that terrified people. Which, let's be honest, made it even better. When she stepped into the ring wearing lipstick, critics called it a gimmick, but when she won, they called it history. She didn't just fight opponents, she fought stigma, ignorance, and the suffocating weight of you can't. And she did it all while making eyeliner look like a weapon of mass seduction. Her story went from local gossip to international phenomenon. Hollywood noticed. Documentaries were made. The world suddenly realized this wasn't a boxing story. It was a freedom story. Nong Toom proved that femininity doesn't make you weak and masculinity doesn't make you strong. Heart does. Outside the ring, she's just as magnetic, witty, grounded, and full of that Thai sass that can slice sharper than a roundhouse kick. She jokes about her past like it's stand-up material, but behind the humor is a lifetime of grit. She's walked through hate, through pain, through the noise, and turned it all into power. Today, Nong Toom is more than a sports icon. She's an anthem, living proof that visibility can punch harder than violence ever could. She mentors young trans women, speaks openly about her journey, and continues to remind the world that authenticity doesn't require permission. Because when she fights, she's not just defending herself, she's defending every person who's ever been told they couldn't be both brave and beautiful. Parinya Nong Toom. Charoenphol didn't just win matches, she won hearts. She didn't chase fame, she created a legend. And she's still out here, gloves off, head high, reminding everyone, you can't knock out truth. If a voice could break barriers, it would sound exactly like Belle Nuntita. Smooth, soulful, and powerful enough to make an entire nation drop its jaw. Thailand first met Belle on Thailand's Got Talent, expecting a cute girl with a pretty song. What they got instead was a plot twist so legendary it belongs in pop culture history. She started singing with a soft feminine tone, angelic, emotional, and then halfway through the song, bam! The voice dropped an octave. The audience froze. Judges blinked. Twitter combusted. Belle didn't just sing. She transformed mid-performance, switching between her male and female vocal registers like she owned both universes. It wasn't a gimmick, it was genius. That moment didn't just make headlines, it made history. For the first time, millions of Thais saw a transgender woman celebrated, not mocked, applauded, not pitied. Belle didn't just walk onto that stage to chase fame, she walked on to reclaim her story, and she did it with a mic, a melody, and pure magic. She's since become more than a singer. She's a cultural icon with the rare power to disarm prejudice with a smile and a perfectly timed high note. Her performances blend humor, honesty, and heartbreak. One minute she's cracking a joke, the next she's making you cry into your noodles. She's living proof that visibility can come wrapped in rhythm and rhinestones. Off stage, Belle is equal parts diva and dork, joking with fans, sharing candid stories, and reminding everyone that authenticity is louder than hate. She's funny, unfiltered, and real in a way that makes you forget you're talking to a national celebrity. She doesn't hide the pain of her journey. She turns it into punchlines that empower others. Every time Belle performs, she's saying something bigger than words. You can't define me by a gender, a note, or a rule book. She's the walking, singing, mic-dropping embodiment of self-love. Because Belle Nuntita didn't come to fit in, she came to remix the system. She's not just Thailand's trans-pop queen. She's a one-woman revolution with perfect pitch, flawless hair, and a sense of humor that could heal the world. Belle Nuntita didn't just change music, she changed minds. And she did it all while hitting both the high notes and the low ones. Icon behavior. If confidence had a soundtrack, it would be sung by Mintita Wattanakul. Bold, unapologetic, and just the right amount of chaos. Mint isn't your average pop star, she's the musical equivalent of a thunderstorm in heels. The moment she hits the stage, microphones get nervous and spotlights start fighting for her attention. She first stole hearts on The Star, Thailand's biggest talent show, where she didn't just sing, she slayed. With powerhouse vocals and a smirk that said, "Yeah, I know I'm killing this," Mint proved that charisma can't be taught. It's inherited from the universe. She's the kind of performer who could turn a breakup song into a dance party and a ballad into a battle cry. But Mint isn't just about high notes. She's about truth. She radiates that "don't box me in" energy. Her style, her voice, her vibe, all scream freedom. She represents the wild, fearless side of Thailand's new generation of artists who know identity isn't something to hide, it's something to headline. Off stage, she's pure comedy, playful, witty, the kind of person who'll roast you mid-interview and still have you thanking her afterward. She's got a heart as loud as her laugh and a personality that could power Bangkok for a week. Mint doesn't chase perfection. She chases authenticity. Every performance says the same thing. Be loud, be real, be you. Because Mintita Wattanakul isn't just making music, she's making noise that matters. And honestly, the world sounds way better with her in it. When Treechada Petcharat walks in, the world adjusts its focus. Cameras click faster, lights burn brighter, and gravity gets nervous. Known globally as Poid, she's not just a Thai icon, she's a walking headline that never stops trending. Before she became the face of elegance, Poid was a girl who refused to let society decide her story. Long before representation became a buzzword, she lived it. Raw, fearless, and stunningly herself. She transitioned young, and instead of hiding, she turned her truth into art. Winning Miss Tiffany's Universe and Miss International Queen wasn't her arrival, it was her declaration. She didn't just win crowns, she redefined what beauty even meant. When she walks, she doesn't just turn heads, she turns history. On screen, Poid transforms from goddess to gangster, from lover to legend. She's got range, charm, and that rare kind of confidence that makes even her silence feel expensive. Every line she delivers says the same thing. Power can wear heels. But the best part? She doesn't take herself too seriously. Behind the couture and camera flashes, she's funny, warm, and slightly chaotic in the most relatable way. She'll serve red carpet royalty one day, then post a blooper reel eating noodles the next. Poid isn't just Thailand's most glamorous woman, She's proof that authenticity never goes out of style. She fought for her identity, won her freedom, and did it all while looking like a magazine cover. Treechada Petcharat doesn't just walk through doors, she builds new ones, decorates them, and struts right through in 6-inch heels. These Thai icons didn't wait for permission to shine. They lit their own damn stage. From movie stars to beauty queens, every one of them proves the same truth. Love is louder than fear, and authenticity never goes out of style. So here's to the bold, the brave, the beautifully chaotic, the ones turning pride into power. Because in Thailand, love doesn't just win, it owns the spotlight.